So welcome all. I got a fun little thing going on, and I spent so long setting up the stream. I still have quest rewards? Well, this is a good time to explain what Emerald Rouge is all about while we're here. So, do you all remember Pokemon Emerald Rouge when I played it on the channel? It was a mod slash ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald. Well, it's kind of self-explanatory. You take Pokemon Emerald and turn it into a roguelike, specifically a roguelike. But I'd be doing it a disservice to just leave the explanation at that. On top of basically turning Pokemon into a whole new genre, it adds so many features. You could play with Pokemon far beyond the 3rd generation, and a lot of the mechanics were updated to the current gen at the time. Recreations of routes and trainers throughout the series to fit the roguelike environment, and even has a post-game mode that lets you do runs with mechanics from other games like Mega Evolutions and Z-moves. If you thought all of that was amazing, the new 2.0 release blows this mod out of the water. There's just too much added for me to explain it all, so I wanted to do a run on the new 2.0 version to show it off. The downside, Emerald Rouge is very long. At least in terms of roguelike. It'll take the course of many streams and countless hours to play through, just for me to go through one, and that's assuming I get through a run on the first try. So I decided to make a video series where I go through a run of Emerald Rouge with some special rules applied. Recently I finished my first run, which unlocked a whole bunch of post-game features including changing the Pokedex. So for stream I wanted to try something a little special because Legends Arceus is just a thing we have going on the channel. So I wanted to at least attempt a run of Emerald Rouge with only Pokemon from the Hisuian Pokedex. I even pulled out the only Pokemon that I've gotten so far that fits the Hisuian Pokedex bill. And we're gonna take our little friend off onto an adventure. Now, Emerald Rouge is big and long, so we are definitely not finishing it this stream, especially with all the technical difficulty, the late start and the technical difficulties I went through. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have pinned the ORA style quest until I was ready to actually do that. So, in between each of your gym challenges, you'll be given a variety of choices to help build out your team and prepare you for the battles up ahead. I'll explain the various routes and pit stops as we approach them, but as we were only allowed to bring one Pokemon into this adventure, I presumed that our priority should be to build out our team, finding new Pokemon to capture and add to our collection. The most common thing for us to run to are the routes themselves. They come in 3 various difficulties, and several categories that determine the Pokemon that we'll encounter. The easier the route, the more variety in species of Pokemon we can encounter, but the less items and rewards we'll gain. Now that I say it out loud, I can make a strong argument for starting out with a casual route, so you have the widest variety of Pokemon to pick from. But my mindset was too fixated on better rewards, so average route it is. It's our first run, anything's good. Except maybe swarming. Oh well. I'm no stranger to Cricket Talk, so it's not like we're completely screwed because that's the only thing I can find. Yeah, but we'll see how things go by here. And can go fight the champion after. Oh! Early Spiritomb! This was the right route to choose. Sorry, I got a little distracted, but yeah. Oh! Speaking of distractions. Everything's just going in my favor. You know what? Let's try the Pokeball first. Oh, you know, I should have tried the Heal Ball so I could get back to full HP. But at least we have 4 Pokemon going on. Shoot. Makes it that I get to keep Pokemon when I faint, or if I change that. Because typically, I've been playing with Revives on, but I was a little conflicted whether to do it for this stream, so I know on my off time it's going back and forth with that setting in particular. And I don't remember if the last time I had it was on or off, which means it might not be a bad idea to try to give some of these Pokemon nicknames before we possibly lose them. Oh, I would say a good one, but that would be lying to the people's face. It's pronounced Steve, but like Sai. So as we battle the trainers and wild Pokemon on the route, our Pokemon continue to level up, and through that we get better moves to improve our Pokemon with. Our little Kricketune is even already able to evolve into a stronger form. Though, there is one caveat that I forgot to mention. At least on the default settings, your average run of Emerald Rouge is kinda like a Nuzlocke, where if a Pokemon faints, it leaves you. Between that, and some fair chance that happened in this current battle, I started thinking maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to fill out my team, even if I have to double up on a couple good mons. It's kinda sad, cause I think I have better lighting in handheld than I do quote-unquote console. Do I want to try to get a few more levels in that? I guess I could just keep my eyes open at my HP in that. If things get too low, we can backtrack out of it. Or we could just freeze the Spiritomb again. Was it with me and my luck with ice? This run in particular. Half tempted to catch another Spiritomb just to have fodder until I get the next Pokemon. Then I don't get experience. But what are the odds of me ever having a Spiritomb frozen at 1 HP? And I guess if I want to get real crazy, I can compare the two and see which one is better. It'll definitely make things more interesting at the very least. It may not be the way I want to play, but something tells me it's what the people would want anyways. And now that the stakes that I'm in are really starting to sink in, maybe it wouldn't hurt to double up on Cypher as well, at least until I can get something better. Catching multiple wild Pokemon, I'm just filling up my party while I have an easy opportunity to do so. Alright. We got some fun options here. Catching contest is new to version 2, and I'm quite fond of it, so I'll probably go for that. But catching contest is kind of one of the more fun additions to the game. Oh, before I forget, we should take advantage of the fact that we have a false fight Pokemon, and actually use it for the catching contest. Oh, a fairy theme contest. Pokemon with a high special defense, you'll win a special reward. This will be interesting, because you don't really think of Fairy when you think of Hisui. Of course there's Ninetales. So no, I'm just gonna catch the Ninetales because there's a very good chance that that's easily the Pokemon with the best special defense. Also, I forgot, it's not like a bug catching comp. You think I would have remembered doing this like 2 or 3 times already, but it's not like a bug catching contest. You just pick out the Pokemon and go. Like, Rouse is pretty good, but I don't think it would be better than a Ninetales. Yeah, I mean, like, a fully evolved Clefairy, maybe, but not a Cleffa. Baby is stage 1 Pokemon, and also Ninetales. I wonder what the Pokemon that has the highest special defense is. Now for the results, we're on the edge of our seats. No one will have any idea what it could possibly be. We won! It was the Alolan Ninetales! Who would have thought? And yeah, that's a nice start to all this, and I'll happily release something for Ninetales. Do I do the Spiritomb or the Spirit Cypher? Honestly, probably the Spirit Cypher. Welcome to the team, Aurora. Hopefully I spelled your name right. Oh, Dazzling Gleam. at level 6. Amazing. You know, the tricky part is gonna be balancing this team. Like, I think Whistle's gonna have to get the boot before we can even take it anywhere. Actually, shoot. Frosty is also an ice type. But I think we can afford to have Frosty stick around as long as it can naturally. I think I'm gonna just take the route and try to see if I can get a few more Pokemon and items. With a new route on hand, we catch some more Pokemon and build up our team to be even stronger. For so many Pokemon, you just gotta go with the first thing that comes to mind. I can always change it later if I come up with something better. I really feel that my team can't be that well-rounded if I don't even have a good answer for water types. I also know that everything's gonna go downhill the moment team members start fainting. 2 bug types is not gonna cut it. I just wish that it didn't have to be a Badoo that you got replaced by. Farewell, buddy. Maybe if I can find an allowance for enough Pokeballs, I'll catch you in the Friend Safari area someday. As for you, I think for style points, spelling it with like blue and not blue. Poison Point, not a bad ability to start off with. I just realized the Stantler we got has Intimidate. That's just fantastic. As we continue through the route, I battle any trainer I miss to make sure that our Pokemon get as strong as they can along the way, as well as salvage all the resources that we can to assure that we have everything we need for the battles up ahead. And with all of our preparation complete, we head into our first gym battle. For this battle, sure, it'll probably be the one thing that keeps you on par with the rest of the team. Alright. Oh, I was gonna swap a little Ninetales out first, but it's okay. Oh, you're the Violet Grass gym leader. And I think we'll be fine. I see the game is already struggling to come up with grass types that actually fit the Hisui dex. Right, your Electric Ghost. So I can actually, your Electric Grass, so I can actually stomp you. Yeah, but still, I do kind of want to just get the Hypnosis off early on. If nothing else, it gives me a free switch in the Cypher, and I can start setting up Fury Swipes, or Fury Cutters. So come out here, Steve. Or Steve. I try to pronounce it with the C, but it still comes out of my mouth the same way as a T. If I build up... I was gonna say if I build it up on the Road Top, then I can just sweep the rest of the team. But I may not even get the opportunity to build them up. See how much Fury Cutter number 2 does. Yeah. I think we're in relatively good shape. Snover might be an issue if it gets a hit in. Oh man, the overcautiousness in me is taking over. Yep. Why risk it though? If it has Ice Shard. If I lose Steve to the first gym, then I would just look like an utter fool. What did I tell ya? We could have peak comedy right there. But instead I played smart. The only downside is that this is going to be an uphill battle. But hopefully my wall can outwall Snover. Man, if only I had a fire type, guys. Like, I'm always thinking of all these types that I want on the team. And there is not enough Pokemon slots to get all of my worldly desires onto a single team. It is nice that we got Confused Ring so early on. It actually makes gives me an opportunity to use Spiritomb the way I always feel that is used best. You may say annoyingly. I just say defensively. And I kind of wonder what sort of offensive powerhouse moves we could have to get this thing. Nothing's really coming to mind. It's always been more of a support Pokemon. Alright, so 1 down, 7 more to go. I'm not even gonna worry about the Elite Four until we get past the gyms. With the first gym down, we have a new assortment of routes and challenges awaiting us. As soon as I can make up my mind of where to go, that is. As much as I want to just get more items, because that feels like the best way, for me I just like pick up all the items in a route, and even if I don't get things I want, I could just sell them for things I do want later on. But trained Pokemon could be what we need to help balance out the team. Of course. Getting a Pokemon in... I gotta say though, getting a Pokemon that knows False Swipe literally in the first round of the run, so good to me. Really... Oh man, it's got Earthquake, like... Just having False Swipe makes this feel like a blessed run. Wait, your name wasn't even Steve, it was Stanley. Similar issue. Goodbye, Stanley. Again, when you're going for a run with so many different Pokemon, you just gotta go with whatever first comes to your mind. And the only thing on my mind was I need a nickname that's similar to Stanley. Yeah, and I used all my IV items. See, this is why I wanted to just hoard them until the end. Do I take the route or do I take the rest stop? This is a daycare rest stop. Unlike what the name implies, there's a little more going on here. For one, if your team's feeling a little hurt, it might be worth to stop here for the free heal from the nurse. We can also pick up a variety of mints and Pokeblocks. The latter won't be relevant till later, so I'll hold off on an explanation for now. Still, if you're in the area anyways, it might be worth picking up 1 or 2, if there's a particular type of Pokemon you want, that are struggling to get your hands on. And you know what, maybe I'll get 2 Fire Pokeblocks just in case we come across a honey tree, so I can use one in the route and one in the tree, and see what I like better. As for the mints, they work pretty similar to the main series games, where you can use a mint to change a Pokemon's nature. Especially on harder difficulties, Emerald Rouge can get pretty tough. So adjusting a Pokemon's nature is an easy way to build their stats in a way that benefits the Pokemon the most. And then there's the daycare lady for herself. It's kind of self-explanatory. You leave a Pokemon with her and she'll raise it. I'm still trying to figure out the purpose to all this, how it really benefits you in a run. For now, I basically use it to hold on to a Pokemon that I might use later, but not currently. And then there's the delivery man. If there's an item you really want to get your hands on, this could be a good opportunity. You talk to him, request the item, and then the next time you see him at a daycare stop, you'll be able to pick it up. If you're having bad luck getting an item you need, like maybe something to evolve your Pokemon, this guy could be your savior. And then there's the berry farming. It's a little self-explanatory, but if you pick up berries on your adventure, you can plant them here, and pick them up later once they bloom. I'm still getting used to exactly how it works, but it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to pick your berries the next time you come to this particular rest stop. It depends on the rarity of the berry, as that will determine how long it takes for it to grow. Alternatively, if there's a berry that you really need, you can just talk to the lady that's hanging out by the orchard and pick it up for a cost. And then there's Wade. I don't think you're normally here. Oh, I don't like the fact that I see feet up ahead. Anyways, I'm all worried about feet, because up ahead, we have a rival fight. In Emerald Rouge, like every few routes or so, they just throw a boss fight your way. I guess I could... You know, let's just get it over with while I'm talking it up. I'm pretty sure I can still go back and actually stack up on things afterwards. Not sure if I picked the best lean, but no going back now. What do you got, Frosty? I don't know, you might be better than Steve. I'm just worried that it's gonna bounce. And you know what, if it doesn't bounce, it probably will have wing attack, which is worse. Sure, Cynthia, because you're pretty defensive, especially for this early on. You got confused right. We can make this work with you. Though I'm starting to realize how useful an electric type will be. Oh my god, is there a type that I do already have? Also, how dare you get a supersonic turn 1? Guess I can't complain too much. The fact they got nothing for a water flying type tells me that my team needs work. Like, you think someone on this team would be able to do something about this man type? Frosty could be an option when it evolves, but alas, it's not evolved yet. I don't know, maybe just to get rid of Fusion, I'll just start setting up with Frosty. Give our little fellow... This is not going to be your last time in the limelight, my friend. Was I wrong about you being defensive? Not completely, it's just that you're physically defensive. And but you have a horrible nature for that. Your special defense is garbage. Back into Cynthia. Maybe after 3 turns you'll finally hit yourself? Nope. Yo, that's my specially defensive Pokemon. What are you doing? Oh, come on. I even specifically went for payback. I mean, that's still a good chunk of damage for payback, so maybe it is just as long as I move last. I don't know, I slept on early game Spiritomb. It's putting in more work than I gave it credit for. Wait, that's just his first Pokemon. I do have ice types. Like, Dragon is one thing I do actually have a counter for. Nice, I even called the switch. I should have saw that coming, but I didn't. Really? So close to why he even bothered with the protecting is not gonna do you any good. It's not gonna save you from diddly squat. What do you get out of it? 1 less power point for Powder Snow? Oh, you aren't staying in. Okay, this team needs a lot of work. So many things I don't cover, and the very apparent weakness to fire just showed its ugly face. And the fact that the thing about the rival is that we fight them a bunch of times. And because we fight them over and over, their team isn't going to change that much. Like, we are going to... I feel confident that we will have to worry about this Kolava for the rest of the run. Thankfully we had a Stantler that knew Earthquake way earlier than it should have any right to. But if we don't do something about our team, that's gonna be a problem. since Frosty's probably gonna get replaced anyways, I'm gonna have Frosty just hang out on the daycare. That way, if God forbid anything happens to Aurora or Ninetales, we'll at least have Frosty as a backup. Well, that's what I get for spending an hour. Then, this is the problem with Emerald Run. Oh man, the question is like, I don't need more ice types. I was just talking about how I need more battle. I talked about how I need, like, moves and all that, but now I'm worried I'm not gonna have the money to actually get the stuff. Welcome to my biggest time sink in the mod, the battle prep rest stop. Long story short, this is where you go to prepare your team for battles. And if you're not a hardcore Pokemon fan and have every single statistical advantage memorized, you could find yourself easily lost and overwhelmed with what to do, what to buy, and what to equip to really make the most out of your stop-out-of-these stops. Or is that just me? Anyways, the first addition to Emerald Rouge that I appreciate a lot is this dude who tells you how to raise your Pokemon. If you need an idea of what item, nature, or moves to give your Pokemon, this guy is a must. He'll give you a standard competitive roundabout, I guess would be a good way to describe it, of each of the Pokemon in your party. It's not always ideal to go for these builds, but if you have no better idea of what to do, this guy can give you some ideas to give you a spark of inspiration. The old man is the move deleter, but honestly I have not run into a situation in any of my runs that I need him for. It might be more applicable in the classic patch of this game where maybe TMs are not removable or something like that. It's good to have, but I don't see myself ever actually needing him. But the most important of these beach dwellers is the move tutor. He'll teach you a wide variety of Pokemon moves, many that your Pokemon would not have access to otherwise. It can be a bit of a cost, but if you're smart, it's usually worth it. These vendors on the side will give you a variety of items to give you an advantage in battle. The one by the driver's seat sells you held items. The one riding shotgun will give you access to particular battle items. This can be vitamins to help boost your stats, or evolution items that you need to finish the evolutionary line of your Pokemon. And maybe some other things that aren't coming to mind, but I'll revisit this if it comes up in the future. The lady won't be of use to you most of the time, but when she is, it will be vital. Essentially, she sells special items that don't really fit in the other categories. Most commonly, it'll be held items that benefit legendary Pokemon, but if you're playing a rule set that lets you use things like Mega Evolutions or Seed Crystals, she'll be of great service to you. So, hours later, suffering choice paralysis, I think I'm finally ready to take on our next gym leader. Still kinda can't help but feel that this was the wrong option. I just wish that there was more ways to have chemistry with Snow rather than just Ice-type Pokemon. Because I would make an Ice team, or I would make a Snow team, if it didn't revolve around the fact of having all my... pretty much that I would have to have a whole team of Ice types to really make use of it. Although Ninetales is a good start though, because like Aurora Veil could help me with other Pokemon. I feel like we can do fine with 5. Let's say I know who you are now. Just didn't quite recognize your older skills, right? This is gonna be fun. A little scary at the start, but fair. Blizzard feels like overkill. Do you really want to play around with this fella, though? It has some counter to your evasion ability. A lot of normal flying types. Ooh, that could have been a problem. It did just occur to me that if I lose little Ninetales after spending all my funds, like almost every penny that I own on it, that could have been a sad problem in itself. But I just realized that you only had 3 Pokemon. We're good. I'd be very surprised if this Blizzard doesn't one-shot Apom as well. Like, this whole Blizzard draft seems like a good idea. Only downside I have is that's how low in power points it is. It makes me kind of wonder if it's something that I would actually be able to toggle on and off with a ice type move that has higher power points and save it for the more major battles. But I'm not sure if that's in my merits. And with 2 gyms done, I think this is a good time to take a little break from our adventure. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you all for the next one. If you like what you saw, any support is appreciated. While I have been streaming this run, I'm a little conflicted of whether to keep streaming or do it on my own time. Either way, I do hope to eventually finish this run and edit down the adventure for y'all to enjoy. So stay tuned for more. Until then, take care.